Noelle. I'm back with another tip today. I've thrown a 2-pound cylinder, and now I'm going to alter this cylinder. So if we look at the starting shape, it's just a basic cylinder. I've left enough clay at the bottom on the interior for trimming. And now that I have the cylinder thrown, I'm going to alter it into a bowl. So I'm going to squeeze some water inside and the outside here. And I'm going to be doing a series of shaping pulls rather than pinch pulls. So in a pinch pull, I'm pinching the clay down here at the shoulder and I'm bringing it up into the body. In a shaping pull, I'm simply altering the shape of the piece without bringing any clay up from the bottom. So I'm going to start by gently pulling the wall out towards my right knee. We have to slowly bend the clay out rather than do it in one pull, because it's stressing the clay out, so we have to move very gently. So in doing these shaping pulls, I focus on keeping the bottom 2 inches pretty vertical for a little while, and I'm thinking about pulling out that top edge and stretching it out. With 2 pounds, this bowl is going to become probably a cereal bowl or an ice cream bowl. And so my inside hand is doing most of the work, and my outside hand is supporting that middle finger doing the stretching from the inside. One area on the cylinder I have to be very mindful of is this shoulder area. If I pull this out too fast too soon, the weight of the clay above it could cause this area to collapse. I'm also throwing porcelain today, so I'm being extra cautious with my shaping pulls. If there was grog, and it was a stoneware, for example, I could push the clay a little harder without tearing it or collapsing it or flopping the piece entirely. So depending on the final shape that I want, I could stop here and I could aim for more of an angular bowl. But if I wanted areas on the interior to be a little bit more rounded, I could now use a shaping rib. And the rib that I would potentially use would be something like this. Okay? So I have a little grit in my interior wall, so I'm just smoothing it out really fast. Now with the rib, I'm going to try to belly out this area just a little bit. But before I do that, I'm going to hit it with the torch really fast to try to firm up the wall just a touch. All right. I'm going to hold this rib. It has 3 holes in it. Those are for my fingers. All right. And I'm going to clean off the outside of the rib. And I'm going to keep the interior of the bowl pretty dry. And I'm going to start down about 2 inches up from the bottom. And I'm moving that rib up to the top. And if you'll notice, my right hand is supporting my left hand, and it's also supporting the rim. pretty good. Just going to clean up interior a little bit, compress the floor. And I have a slight little gouge where I had to remove just a hardened piece of clay. And I'm going to do one more gentle pull with this rib. And this time I'm going to focus a little bit more down here with my rib. Hopefully you can see my form change shape a bit. Because I'm using porcelain, my finished bowl is going to shrink quite a bit. So it's going to shrink about 14%. So even though it looks like it might be a nice wider pasta bowl right now, eventually it'll be more of an appropriate shape for a serving of cereal. Okay. I'm going to trim this piece. So I'm going to wire that off, and I'm not going to worry about altering this bottom part, but I'm just going to use a metal rib really fast, just to clean up any sort of throwing lines on the outside and make it really smooth. I'm also going to compress my top edge. And clean up the inside with my pretty wrung out sponge. Okay. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna wire it off. Pop it off the wheel. And I'm gonna let it set up until I can flip it and trim it. If you can see over here, this was the cylinder I threw earlier. So this is a 2-pound cylinder waiting to become a mug. And this is my 2-pound cylinder turned into a bowl. I'm going to flip it and trim it and clean up this whole outside with my turning tools. Thank you for watching.